Yo, what's up? It's Dr. James Utley. I'm your resident code breaker, data scraper, and today I am your newly minted Rustacean here. So I'm going to go over some of those Rust applications that I've been building for you, and we're going to start off with the first one, which is really kind of cool. I want to share with everybody out there in internet land. All right, let's check it out. Okay, so if you see, this application is called Goomel. It's a GPU accelerated molecular dynamics engine based on Lumel. So Lumel is a molecular dynamics engine written entirely in Rust by the Lumel team. Now because it's like super versatile and fast with Rust, and all the safety features and everything, which is really amazing. There is one feature that I was surprised, because in terms of like turning out these force field simulations, it is CPU based. So it's like portable and all of that stuff, and has all the safeties of Rust, and it's a really great project. Now I have one specific use case that I need to simulate a radiation environment, and so I just pulled it down, busted it open, and I'm GPU accelerating it, and I'm calling it Goomel. But anyway, that's not actually why we're here. We're here is even more simple. So like building in Rust, once you learn kind of like the Rust basics, I guess, that's like ownership and understanding the biochecker, some different traits, some debug, like all of these type of things. Then what I've learned is like added my workflow is now the use of Agentic. So I'm like an Agentic Rustacean, if there's such a thing. But anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about this tool that I built. It's called Vybrid. And if you see it right here, Vybrid is an AI coding assistant. It's built in Rust to assist you in Rust coding, or coding things in Rust, or programming things in Rust. So it has like all of the cool, it's been like built with a lot of tool calling, and it's like all of the main Rust manuals that it's been, which is the system prompt, as well as calling these manuals for, so it can keep context. It's all built in. It's called Vybrid. It's open source. You can check it out on my GitHub. You can pull it down, learn all about it if you want. Anyways, Vybrid. So let me tell you like how this is built. Okay, so there was this project called DeepSeek Engineer version 2, which was really it was like kind of in the early days of AI coding agents, and I just loved it because it was like one file, and then if you were like, if you had the ability to read Python and kind of like conceptualize in your mind and understand what's going on, it's like, okay, it makes sense. It has all the baseline tools that I would need, all of like the things like all the bash scripting, calls and functions and everything. But the problem was it was like super slow. Well, now I can definitely say that because I rewrote that same thing in Rust, and which is Vybrid here. But anyway, let me just show you. So it's like, can you review this project, and let's build what's next on the to-do list. Right, and it's just like, it's like any coding agent, right? So it's going to go through, it's going to execute the tools, you see, and it's going to get ideas, it's going to read the files, execute, reading files, creating files, reading, writing, processing, and so it's going to go through, but it's oriented towards Rust development. And I'm not I'm definitely not cracked in Rust development, but what I can say is that it's helped me a lot. Like me personally, and this is my problem, not just with like Rust languages, but it's like, getting started, like taking from hello world and then extrapolating it without using like too much of like framework type stuff. But anyway, that's it. So it's going to build, and you have your coding agent, and the coding agent is, so like with that, if you want to launch multiple agents, you can do all of that, like whatever tickles your fancy. But it's so Vybrid. That's why we're here. Vybrid is a Rust agentic coding assistant built in Rust for Rust development, if that makes sense. But anyway, and that will do it for today. And I just want to get this out here, so you can find it on the GitHub, SampleBias. And yeah, pull it down, work on it, help contribute, whatever you want to do. I'm using it for the toughest projects that I'm building in Rust. So like, for example, let me talk about Like for example is, I'll build a framework, then I'll use some agentic engine, an agentic tool to kind of build out some functions and features. Then I'll get back in there and organize it because, like for example, if you're using a frontier model, like without having the ability to have like a local knowledge base that's like built into the tool, for example, like here in Vybrid, then what happens is it'll get off course, meaning like Rust development is real shaky for AI, which is good because it keeps the human in the loop. And the problem, like, is if you're a Rust developer, like if you get this like looping problem, then you're just sitting there at the compiling, like, what the fuck, why is this taking so long? So it's like you're getting the fast performance, but when you're building, you want to kill yourself because you're like, you're bouncing from bug to bug. So that's why it really requires somebody that's I'm new. I'm relatively new. I've been learning Rust for about a year and a half now. But I'm like, I'm like in love. I'm in love with it for sure. So, anyways, yeah, man. But this is there's what it gives video out there. See, it's still cooking. You just let it cook, and you can go back and review it. That's what happens. So in this agentic coding development. But anyway, until next time.